Tingemas. 8 literary devices, 7 teachers teaching, 6 rhyming couplets, 5 war poems, 4 highlighters, 3 post-it notes, 2 mock exams, and a poetry anthology. Hello and welcome back to Tingemas Literature. Today I'll be continuing my festive series with Day 8 of Tingemas, where I go over the 15 power and conflict poems in the run-up to Christmas. In this video, I'll be going over Bayonet Charge by Edward James Hughes. Let's firstly begin by reading the poem. Suddenly he awoke and was running. Raw seemed hot Kai, his sweat heavy, stumbling across a field of clods towards a green hedge that dazzled with rifle fire, hearing bullets smacking the belly out of the air. He lugged a rifle numb as a smashed arm, the patriotic tear that had brimmed in his eye, now sweating like molten iron from the centre of his chest. In bewilderment then he almost stopped. In what cold clockwork of the stars and the nations, what he was hand-pointing that second. He was running, like a man who jumped up in the dark and runs listening between his footfalls for the reason of his still running, and his foot hung like Satchery in mid-stride. Then the shot slashed furrows threw up a yellow hair that rolled like a flame, and crawled in the thresh-side circle, its mouth wide open, silent, its eyes standing out. He plunged past with his bayonet towards the green hedge. King, honour, human dignity, etc. dropped like luxuries in a yelling alarm, to get out of that blue crackling air, his terror's touchy dynamite. Now let's take a look at the poem in a bit more detail. Running raw is alliteration that gives a sense of hard work and almost that the soldier is heavily breathing. Towards a green hedge is a contrast made between the war zone and the green hedge, which creates quite a peaceful and tranquil image. The comma after dazzled with rifle fire is used as enjambment to add to the chaos of the battlefield. Bullets smacking the belly out of the air personifies the bullets and creates a blur between weapon and man by dehumanizing the soldier and personifying the weaponry. The patriotic tear that had brimmed in his eye juxtaposes the idea of patriotic tears with a horrific sweat of molten iron, which creates a dehumanizing comparison to make the soldier appear more like a machine, such as a tank or plane that was used in the war. The metaphor cold clockwork describes his actions more mechanical than human, and trivializes war to be more like a game of clockwork soldiers between nations instead of a bloodthirsty fight. Was his hand pointing to that second is a rhetorical question that marks a change in pace, and suggests that the soldier is now thinking about what he's become in this war, causing the charge to seem slow motion to him. Here enjambment implies that over the 4 verses, the soldier has come to a sudden realization of what he's doing, and the consequences it might actually have. In the phrase yellow hair, the hair is a metaphor creating questions to whether the hair is actually real, alongside yellow being a colour associated mainly with cowardice and fear. The phrase also suggests that the hair is another soldier that's being shot and is now scared, and is trying to escape whilst appearing dehumanized. Plunged implies that the soldiers are diving too deep and cannot return, and that there's no turning back from what they've stepped into. Etc. is used to highlight the listing of key motivations of war to emphasize patriotism, and also how soldiers wanted an honourable death. Blue crackling air is an atmospheric description that gives an element of danger and uncertainty to the verse, and finally touchy dynamite is used as a metaphor and connaissance to emphasize the adrenaline rush, and that soldiers are almost like pressured animals with fight or flight reactions within war. Now let's take a look at the theme of the poem. This poem is clearly set around conflict, in that the soldier is rushing out of the trenches on the attack. However, the poem also looks at the idea like transformation, humanity and nature in the form of the yellow hair and the green hedge. The poem also describes the soldier as more of a machine or animal than actually human, which is reflected in the power-themed words used to describe him. Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and even share it to your friends, maybe they might want to revise as well. And I'll be bringing Tingemas Day 9 tomorrow.